All right. Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for jumping on this Friday. My name is Mike Condon. I am the Vice President of Franchise Development here at HomeWell. And I would be remiss if I didn't say I was super excited for this interview, as I personally worked with Chandler and Dani and Key as they went through the process of evaluating if this was the right business model for them. So I am excited to have a chance for you guys to hear their story and to let them share with you about their experience so far here at HomeWell. But before we jump into all of that, I'd love to start. They are outside, they're in Madison, Mississippi. And if you guys just would like to share just real quick about your backgrounds and kind of the reason why you wanted to look at the home care space.
I'll start. So I'm a registered nurse with 8 years of experience in home health. And I really just saw the importance of home care and just how beneficial it was. You know, as a nurse, I was only going in 30 minutes once or twice a week. And it was really the caregivers in the house that were, you know, the real deal. They were that more crucial part of the picture, the ones making sure that they were taken care of when I left. And so that's kind of my why. I just have a passion for home care and helping people. So.
And I have a background. My family owns and operates Coin Laundries in the state of Mississippi. We have 16 or 17 locations. So I've got about 8 years of background in just kind of running business operations. So I know that's where Dani wasn't real familiar with, and I think we work together as a team greatly just from that aspect, because she has the heart and the giving and all the care knowledge, and I kind of run the office work for her. So
awesome. And so that's a great, I want to kind of start there. So you guys, you know, have been business owners for a long time, you know, as an independent. What made you look at the franchising route as versus maybe doing this on your own?
I think just the backing, the back office, all the support staff, the branded, just everything that comes along with it has been very, very crucial in playing a part, helping Dani. She's never owned her own business. She's always worked for somebody else. So it's just having that crutch to rely on, and the brand and the know-how, and talking to other business owners throughout this franchise. Everybody's super open. I couldn't believe it when I went to the regional meeting, how well that went. And everybody's just, I mean, there's no secrets. Everybody wants everybody to be successful.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. And so as you guys started evaluating, you know, what was the right franchise opportunity for you in this space, what really helped you understand that maybe HomeWell was the right place or is the right place for you guys to grow this business? Because I know you guys have some big aspirations, which we love, you know, and we're excited to partner with you in that. But what made you choose us as much as you went through that evaluation process?
Well, it was you, Mike.
Come on now. I don't know if it was
No, but we were on a trail. We had looked at another franchise, and we were actually pretty far along. And we were speaking with Mike, and we were honest from the get-go. We were like, "There's two of you guys." We went and met with this other company, and we just couldn't get everything worked out on the back end. And we called Mike back, and we're like, "Look, we know we were going with this guy, but are we still good with you?" And he was like, "Yes." And he welcomed us with open arms. And I'm so glad that it happened the way.
The right choice. Yeah.
Well, thank you for saying that. You know, again, as everybody on here, right, you're evaluating different opportunities, and we encourage that, right? I think it's good that, you know, people see the differences out there. And obviously now that you guys are a part of our family, you know, you really see what we're about from a culture standpoint and really from a back end to help you be successful in this space. So you guys decided to make the leap with us. You know, what was your experience like as you came on board and through your training process? I know you guys hit the ground running, and I mean like full Usain Bolt sprint. So, you know, what was that process like for you guys? And you know, how much support did we give you? Talk us through, and the people on the call hear that. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, I mean, Laura and Kelly are the ones that were assigned to us, and they helped us tremendously. I mean, we had already, just from a business standpoint, known how to create LLCs and Secretary of State and that kind of deal. But any questions that we had, it was the timetables that they set up for us was like, okay, you need to have this done this week. And if we weren't getting there, they were monitoring us and helping us through that the whole way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, I think as a lot of people know, it's exciting when you decide to start a business. It's work when you want to get it open, right?
Right.
That's where our support really comes in, and Laura and her team and that whole operations team, they're the magic workers here in all of this process to help get you through that.
That's right.
Was there anything as you guys went through the openings process that was surprising to you that you would say, hey, I didn't think about that as I was evaluating this from a business opportunity standpoint?
I would say just like the third party vendors, I didn't realize you guys setting us up with people that integrate into this, that integrates into this. I didn't know how big of a deal that was until you actually get into working it. And I think that's been the biggest surprise to me is the ease of use between the vendors that we chose, which is not mandatory at all. But I think it's been very seamless for everything that we've done just from you guys, third party vendors.
Yep, I would agree with that.
And Dani, this is specifically for you as a coming in with a healthcare background. What do you see as an opportunity? Obviously, the space, but do you feel like as you've gone through the training part, do you feel like our knowledge in the home care space is matched with what you were looking for? Because you have a background in it, but not necessarily the business ownership. So, as a nurse, talk somebody through that's looking at it maybe from your perspective as well.
Yes, absolutely. Like the training that we went through with Michelle before we opened, I think it's like the operations training and just how she hits on the difference in an ILF and an ALF and the hospital, home health, how they all differ. It was all spot on. Just for someone that was coming into it without a healthcare background, it was done amazingly to teach them what each one of how it can all work together.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's an important factor when you look at the breakdown of our owners across the board. It's amazing to me that how many walk in without a healthcare background. And I think you just said it yourself. You don't necessarily need that healthcare background in order to do this type of business, right?
Yes.
We have that support. So
Yes.
that's always fun to hear from a nurse's perspective as I am not that smart. So
Yes.
And look, when I don't know, do I call these patients clients? I mean, so those kind of things matter. I mean, if you go into a facility and you're calling them clients and they call them patients, they're just going to look at you kind of crazy. But Michelle she hit on every little thing like that makes a difference.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I think there was like a terminology type sheet that she used too, and just helps, people without a healthcare background know what the terminology is. So I think that was great too.
Yeah. So, as you guys have launched your business now, you guys when did you officially open your doors?
It was the Tuesday, so Labor Day, September, I think it was the 5th. So we opened that Tuesday after.
Yeah. That's awesome. What have you seen from an operation standpoint that excites you about where you can take this business? Because again, there's a lot of moving parts as business owners. You guys know this. And as a husband and wife, I think you guys really understand there are different roles for each of you to fulfill in the business. So help people understand, what does that look like for you guys? How do you divide and conquer, I'll say? And then, what does that look like as a growth aspect for you as you continue to grow and scale your agency?
So we kind of hit this. We want to grow fast. There's two different ways. Well, more than that actually, but and there's nothing wrong with either way. But we took the approach from day one that we wanted to have the correct staff in place to be able to grow. We didn't want to wait until growth happened and then adjust our staff needed. We wanted to go ahead and just pay a little extra. I mean, we hired a care manager probably before we should have. But I just want to be able to grow without having to adjust after the fact. Mm-hmm. And that's the approach we took. I mean, we may have overdone it here and there, and we hired a scheduler pretty quick. But I think it has been a huge part in why we've ramped up hours so quickly. I mean, we couldn't do it with just me and Dani sitting in the office, I don't think.
Yeah, and I think it just depends on how you're coming at it from what angle as an owner you want to take. Because
Right.
the reality is, we do have a lot of owners that come in and it is a husband and wife. And I always love to talk about Eli and John Collier in Nashville, who you guys I know got a chance to meet. That's what they did when they started, and they really had an excellent opportunity. They killed it. So to that point, the nice thing about as you guys came in and you worked with Kelly is that you were able to kind of see it as a whole, and you guys got to decide how you wanted to do it, which I think is the
Correct.
Yeah,
I mean, there was no push one way or the other. There's tons of different ways to do it. That's just the way we did it. And I've met a couple of people at the regional meeting that, for example, the one in Texas, she's running the whole operation by herself. I mean, other than having a caregiver. I'm like, how are you billing out 300 hours by yourself? So there's ways to do it, and there's nothing wrong with any of those ways.
Yeah. So you guys are going, it's going well. I know, and I know you guys are excited and happy about the future. What would you say to the caregiver side? Now, the question we get on every call is staffing. And you guys had the same question, right? So from your perspective, how does that work? How are you guys handling it? And the good and the bad with that, I'd love to hear your guys' experience.
Yeah. So we kind of got flooded when we first posted our job ad. We got just so many, like 200 applicants in a week. And so we kind of had to go through and weed out and figure out, who is a priority to get in for an interview. And honestly, I don't know, it's been a struggle, like having, keeping good caregivers on staff, or when you schedule interviews, half of them might show up and half of them don't, but the ones that do show up tend to be really, really good. And we've gotten some great people. I would say just like staying in contact with them, making sure they know that they're valued, and how much we appreciate them has been really helpful in making them want to stay with us, and just trying to pay a little bit more than maybe the other agencies around here are to try to keep them and want them to take a shift with us over others. So
yeah. Do you feel that is a hindrance of growth for your business?
No, I don't think so, because we still have, like I said, we weeded through a lot of them from the get-go, but we still have a lot of those people that we can go back, the ones that we did not interview the first go round, and we can go back and, bring in those people. And we feel like there's definitely still a lot of good caregivers out there that we just have not interviewed and brought in yet. I feel like we'll be able to get there and get the right caregivers and be able to grow, our clientele.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that's, again, that's a big question that gets asked, and it's always better to hear it from people that are doing it every day, right? I don't think we hide from the fact that you have to constantly be on it, right? And that's part of running an agency, is you want to consistently be hiring and finding and looking out for the right talent. And then on top of that, keeping the right talent, right? So retention tools, and I know on our support side, we give a lot of support from a retention standpoint of 90-day programs, things of that sort, to make sure you're engaged from that aspect. So I appreciate you answering that honestly, because that's a big part of it. We want people to understand that. As we kind of move through, what advice do you have for somebody either evaluating the opportunity, maybe Chandler from your side from a business aspect, and then maybe from Dani from your side as a healthcare professional? Like, what advice would you give them from both of those sides?
I would just say, if you're contemplating it, there's probably a reason, and it's probably not a new thing to your mind. Just to jump off and do it and don't look back. There are struggles. I mean, there's struggles with every business, but there's such a need for this right now. It's not the clients. You're not going to have problems getting clients from what I've seen. It's just learning how to navigate your office, the scheduling, the interviewing, and you can make it your own. That's what's so good about it. There's not a strict plan here that you have to follow. I mean, there's tons of ways to do it, but it's very rewarding when you see that you're taking care of clients and they're satisfied, and you start, making money. I mean, it's just very, very rewarding when you do it by yourself from the ground up. So,
yeah, I would say as a nurse too, like what Chandler said, it's been very rewarding to me knowing that I'm able to give that care that they so need. And as a nurse, I know I can't use my medical skills, but my knowledge has been, I mean, it's been a tremendous help, because a lot of times the families just need help navigating.
Yeah.
Like where are we? What do we need? Home health? Do we need hospice? Should we be placed somewhere? And I feel like that's been really, really beneficial as a nurse to be able to help them navigate all of that too.
Yeah, it's scary when you have a loved one going through all of that, and they can come to you guys as resources to say, hey, I have this question, and maybe that this isn't the right option for you, but maybe we should look over here for this. And I think that's a tremendous value add that you guys bring to the table, every day as healthcare professionals. So I appreciate this, guys. I mean, it is, as I said, when you guys decided to join our team and we awarded the franchise, it's, our job here is to find the right people to really grow and be successful with. And I feel like we really did that with you guys. I feel like you think the same with us. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But it seems like it's been a great match so far. And we're excited to see where you guys take this business, and excited to continue to grow with you on that. So with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up for today. I didn't see any questions that came in. Is there any questions that Dani and Chandler can answer for anybody in the audience as of today?